Obviously, I'm an advocate for N.A.R. The plaintiffs are not real plaintiffs that were actually victimized. Come on. Anybody that believes that is insane. Yeah, I've been critical of Ketchmark. He and I aren't friends. I said in one of my videos, we're not going to be friends in this life. We're not going to be friends in the next life. The level of pissed off that young people are on a 1 to 10 right now with not being able to afford a home is at a 15. Realtors are making so much money. Brokerages are ripping off everyone. They knew when the case started we were cooked. They knew it. But our system is so bad. It's a bunch of bullshit is what it is.
We're here today on another episode of the Reside Platform podcast, and I'm excited. Not only is it a good friend, but an exciting, smart guest, Anthony Lammachia. Welcome, Anthony.
Hello, my friends. Thank you very much for having me on. Happy to be here to chat with you all and see if I can add some value to the audience. We'll see. We'll see how I do.
And we also have co-founder of Reside and another great friend, Mr. Preston and Guyton, to co-host with us today.
What's up, buddy? How are you?
What's up? I'm great.
Excited for this one.
I know. I'm excited for this one. This was a good one. This will be fun. So for any of the viewers and listeners who don't know who Anthony is, he has Lamacchia Real Estate, 13 branch offices, 550 agents in 6 different states. Dude, that's big. And we could talk about business and growing and how you had a small team and he used to grind leads, but we're going to skip all that today. Keep looking, go look them up if you want to hear those stories. We did another podcast about that like 4 years ago, so go listen to that.
Yeah, during COVID, we did. You're right about that.
So let's get right into it. Let's talk about N.A.R. So you go there and speak. What other involvement do you have kind of with N.A.R. and the leadership?
I've been, I got into business in 2004, and I made the mistake of not getting involved with my local, state, or National Association of Realtors till 2010 is when I started putting my toe in the water, and I did things in reverse. Most people get involved locally, then state, and they love to get involved nationally. I got involved nationally first because the housing market was, in terrible shape. Houses were upside down, foreclosures everywhere, and we were doing a tremendous amount of short sales. And I was pissed off because I couldn't believe how badly the mortgage servicers and the GSEs, Fannie, Freddie, HUD, FHA, I couldn't believe how badly they were fumbling the ball with short sales. And it was so clear to me how much money those investors could save, how people could be saved from foreclosure and buyers could get better homes than if they got foreclosed on. And I was frustrated that no one was really the voice for that. So I went to Washington, D.C. I set up a bunch of meetings with all the different organizations that I just mentioned, various people in Congress, the chairman of the House Financial Services Committee, and I managed to lay a whole bunch of meetings in a 2-day period. And then I said to myself about a week before, I said, geez, if I'm going to D.C., maybe I should get in touch with those folks at the National Association of Realtors that I connected with on some other random thing 6 months ago. So I shoot an email, hey, I'm going to be in town. They said, okay. I go do all my meetings a week later. I'm giving you the fast version. I go over to meet with them. We sit at a table. It's me and this young guy, Charlie Dawson. He lives in LA, good friend now. And I tell him all the meetings I just had. And he goes, how'd you get all those meetings? I said, I don't know. I reached out and are you related to the Kennedys? Are you politically connected? I'm like, no, I reached out. I stayed on top of these people. FDIC, I got all these meetings. So he leaves the room, comes back in with some higher up people at N.A.R. and the rest is history. I got involved then. That they pulled me in. I got involved meeting with mortgage servicers, GSEs, FHFA, and I was a part of those solutions to helping people avoid foreclosure, pushing on short sales, and then I ended up staying involved. And then as I got involved, I'm like, holy shit, the National Association goes to battle for private property rights and for us realtors every day. I had no idea. I was one of those people that got my dues every year, and I'm like, what the hell is this? Why am I paying this? And then when I got involved and I had, a front row seat or sometimes a third or fourth row seat, I was like, Jesus. And, then you look at COVID, 1 week into COVID, we all go on lockdown. I'm on the phone with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, along with the folks at N.A.R. We're talking to them about different things. And you just can't imagine the tentacles they have and all they do for the housing market. You can't imagine it until you get involved. So obviously I'm a proponent. Obviously I'm an advocate for N.A.R. Am I frustrated how some things have gone in the last year or so? The case, yeah, well, it's easy to be Monday morning quarterback. Do I think we should have been more aggressive on some things? Yeah, but that's also easy for me to say, right? And I'm involved in it. I know now I'm more involved. My videos have certainly put me in places, in meetings that I didn't expect to be in. And I'm happy about that. So,
yeah, I mean, I just want to give you props because something that I learned from you through our, us being homies is just leadership on a national level for real estate, for all the agents and broker owners. So I want to thank you for doing that for me and opening my eyes. I remember some of our conversations. So, and I think that you're a good guy to be in there talking, right?
Well, luckily God gave me the ability to talk and talk on camera and talk under pressure. He didn't give me the ability to spell and do some other things, but that I got. So luckily I'm able to do that.
Good. So let's talk about the lawsuit. Give me your thoughts.
I think most of it's bullshit. The plaintiffs are not real plaintiffs that were actually victimized. Okay, they're not. Two of them just so happen to live across the street from each other. One of them just so happens to be at the same country club as one of the plaintiff's attorneys, not Ketchmark, someone else. One of them happens to be a personal injury attorney, right? So think about that. Personal injury attorney who obviously has legal knowledge, signs a listing agreement with a listing broker, with an agent, listing brokerage, lists her home, sells her home, and 3 years later wakes up one day and says, I was victimized. I was mistreated. This isn't fair to me. I'm going to call, who should I call? And she and all these other plaintiffs just so happened to all call Ketchmark and McCright around the same time, right? They just so happened to. And Michael Ketchmark said, wow, they're being mistreated. Let me band these people together for a class action lawsuit. Come on. Anybody that believes that is insane, right? He went out, he or his associates, I don't know who, they gathered plaintiffs. They sent postcards out to the entire state of Missouri, all the home sellers, and said, did you sell a home in the last 4 years? If you did, you may be entitled to compensation. You may be entitled to whatever the postcard said, right? They pulled these people together. The funny thing about the case, Suneet, it's Sitzer Burnett. Sitzer bailed. That's the funny thing. Sitzer bailed the summer of 2022. Sitzer said, what the hell is this? I'm out. And bailed out. Then Burnett, the husband who happens to be involved in the town, in the city or town there that they live, he bailed. So now only the Burnett wife was in. So the list of plaintiffs was this big, and then it went down, but it was still enough to get the class action certification to go ahead with the case. And listen, yeah, I've been critical of Ketchmark. He and I aren't friends. I said in one of my videos, we're not going to be friends in this life. We're not going to be friends in the next life. But the guy is obviously a skilled trial attorney. Sure. Okay. So he goes in there. He gets a jury, and how this happened, I don't know. But they stacked the jury with 7 people. There's 8 jurors. 7 of them never owned a home. They happened to have the trial in the summer of 2023, which is or whatever it was, the early fall. It was peak of unaffordability in the nation. The level of pissed off that young people are on a 1 to 10 right now with not being able to afford a home is at a 15. So they stacked the jury with 7 people who think buying a home is out of reach. Buying a home is basically going to be impossible for them. I'm not saying every juror, but generally speaking, you get 7 people that haven't owned a home. That's how they feel. Sure. You get Ketchmark who can talk. This guy could. When I was a kid, my grandmother said I had an answer for everything. This guy's as good as me or better with having an answer for everything. So he goes in there, he paints this picture. Realtors are making so much money. Brokerages are ripping off everyone. Never mentions lawyers make 33% settlements, right?
Right.
He talks about how much money realtors are making and effectively acts as if we're ripping off the whole world. And the jurors hear this and they deliberate for 2 hours and 28 minutes. Done. Guilty. So, the people that were in the courtroom, I know 4 people that were in the courtroom. 3 of them don't know each other. They all told me, three of the 4 told me they knew when the case started we were cooked. They knew it. And, it was a jury trial. Why they went jury trial, I don't know. I don't know how that works. I'm not a lawyer. Now with the appeal, it's going to be in front of judges. Judges care about black and white legalities. And that's another thing that I've called Ketchmark out on. Do you see him on the news or in newspapers talking about the intricacies of the Sherman Act and the antitrust laws? Because I don't.
No.
I only hear him saying realtors are too expensive. It's like he's on a crusade to for us to charge less. I think we should sue. We should get a bunch of old clients of his. We should sue him for charging everybody the same amount or a similar amount. Why not? That's what they're effectively doing to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you look at that, I mean, attorneys across the board are what, 33% on average?
Yeah. And then you read the articles. I don't know about you guys, but I read these articles that they put out, like the Wall Street Journal editorial board, not the regular articles, editorial board.
Okay.
They were realtors charge 6% and they split it equally. Every article I see, I'm like, I wish it was that easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be great, but it's not. I mean, are you kidding me? I get agents going on appointments every day that tell us, God, such and such company, I just found out they're charging X, such and such is charging Y. I'm trying to justify a little more. Then there's one company that's charging a little. It isn't. I mean, is there some similarities? Well, no shit. Same thing with buying cars. You go buy a Camry, you go buy a Cadillac at 3 different dealerships. Their prices are going to vary, but there's going to be some level of some similarity just because of cost. And they act like we don't have costs. Then this guy Ketchmark walks in the trial the first day. America should be on the Australian system. They charge 1%, right? He never bothers to mention in Australia, there's no such thing as fiduciary duties, client relationships, okay? He fails to mention that people customarily pay up front there. It's the norm for home sellers to pay for their pictures out of pocket, pay for the marketing, the 1% marketing fee up front out of pocket. I heard about that. I said, shit, maybe he's right. Maybe we should get some of that over here. We can actually get paid up front. We can get paid up front. We don't get paid anything up front. Realtors and brokerages invest money in listings. Most of them, of course. Of course, it varies. But we invest money in these listings. Realtors put their heart and soul in. They work nights, weekends, show the homes all hours of the day. We got drones flying over properties now. We got aerial photography, all these different things. We get paid nothing until it sells. But our system is so bad. It's a bunch of bullshit is what it is. And I think in the end, our industry will prevail. But how we get there, I don't know. It's going to be, there's a lot of battle in front of us.
When you talk about that, what message would you like to tell agents, that are worried about it? Like they're worried about the commission side and, worried about what's to come and everything else.
Well, one message I'd want to tell agents is we need to keep doing what we do best, which is serving buyers, sellers, tenants, landlords, right? Serving our clients, continue to put their best interests, forward, and make sure that they're educated, make sure that they, can explain what's going on. Because we only had a handful of clients actually ask what was going on when it was all over the media in late October, November. But as this thing progresses and there's more cases, it's going to be all over the media. And people are going to ask. And realtors have to be prepared to answer questions. And, one of the things that I keep pointing out, and I want to say it to your audience, and I know your audience, you guys are realtors. When I say it, you're going to agree. But Ketchmark keeps saying, and some others, that realtors are steering buyers and essentially hiding properties that don't offer a lot of commission from buyers. I'm like, what planet is he on? You can't hide a property from a buyer. A buyer has every damn property that's on the open market at their fingertips. Buyers are the ones driving the process. So yes, we realtors, of course, say, hey, I think you should check out 123 Main Street. Did you see that? This one over here, but the buyers have access to everything. We're not going to, we would never steer a client based on the compensation being offered. It's ludicrous. Then I want to point something else out. Let's say we end up in a world where there are a lot of properties, not offering cooperating brokerage compensation. And that's the craziest part about this case. Ketchmark and these other folks, they grandstand. We're for the buyers. Oh, really? Okay. Now the buyer has to come out of their pocket to pay the commission. That's what you're proposing. And that's what they say. Oh, the Australian system or commercial real estate. Okay. The average buyer that's 32 years old or 28 years old and is starting out buying a home, they don't have money to come out of pocket for down payment, homeowners insurance upfront, commission.
Sure.
What happens is you can have a lot of agents. You're going to have a lot of buyers that go at it without agents, which goes totally against buyer agency. 25 years ago, every consumer advocate out there wanted buyers to have representation. Now they have it, and now these people want to ruin it, right? So let's say, for instance, let me stick with the example. Sorry, I'm kind of hijacking here, but let's say, for example, we get to a world where, by next spring or the summer, which is possible, that 2 or 3 sellers out of 10 say, I saw this news story and I'm not paying a buyer's agent. Okay, let's walk that through. Yeah. So they offer 0 compensation in the MLS. That's fine. They have that choice. They have that choice now. One of the MLSs we're in, they can offer $1. It's mandatory to offer at least $1. Big deal. That's effectively nothing, right? So let's say we get to a world where 2 or 3 listings are offering $0. If you're representing that buyer and you are taking buyers out to see 4 properties, it is your duty to inform the buyer, hey, just a heads up, happy to show you all 4 of these. But that one there, property B, they're not offering any cooperating brokerage compensation. So I'm going to need to work with you to get that compensation from you, Mr. Buyer. Yeah. What is the buyer going to say when that happens? Most buyers forget that house.
Yeah.
I don't see it. Yeah. Especially the first time buyer. I don't want to see it. And what's an agent going to say? Well, why don't we still see it? No, I don't want to see it because I don't want to pay. So that's what's going to happen in most cases. So this false notion, this false narrative that they're pumping in the media, and unfortunately the media is eating it up, that, agents steer buyers. Buyers are the ones making these choices. Buyers are the ones driving the process. And that's what drives me nuts. And I want to say, when you said, Preston, what to say to agents, agents need to be careful what they're saying. Sometimes an agent gets fired up. I don't know if you heard the recording, but there was a Wall Street Journal podcast, and they played a recording that was played in court of a realtor who called Rex Real Estate. And they were on the phone with Rex Real Estate, and Rex Real Estate says, well, we don't offer the compensation, blah, 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 whatever was said. And the realtor got mad. The realtor had a moment and said, well, then I'm not showing your listings. Mm-hmm. They took that, played it in court. And, and I even said in one of my videos, okay, there's 1.6 million realtors. Of course, there's some that will talk crazy or get angry or say stupid things like that. But it isn't anyone with any massive amount of experience, because anyone with experience knows you can't, if you tell a buyer, I won't show you that house, or try to hide a property from a buyer, what does that buyer do? They leave you. They're going to go to somebody else. They're going to get to that property. And then when they find out they have to come out of pocket, oftentimes they're not going to be interested. So,
and where's Rex now?
Yeah, Rex is gone. Purple Bricks is gone. All of these discount brokerages. And Suneet, that's another thing. There was an article, I forget what newspaper, that talked about how they did a study. They did this massive study, and they studied listings that offered less cooperating brokerage compensation. And they found that those listings, sold slower. They were slower to sell. They didn't sell for as much. Well, no shit. They hired a discount brokerage. I mean, they're not taking into account all the other impacts of a discount brokerage, right? If they're not marketing the same, they're not flying drones over houses, they're not doing aerial photography, they're not that has to be done in every
They're not doing any photos, period. They're using their friggin' cell phone.
I mean, you look at it though, like any other industry, you could pay for a level of service. If you're offering services worth 6%, the crazy part is they agreed to 6%. But 3 years later, they were upset because 3% of the 6% was paid to a buyer. It makes zero fucking sense. It makes 0 sense. I mean, like when you buy anything, are the attorney letting you know who else they're paying? Are you going to be upset that they're taking 33% and they're giving half of that to somebody else or whatever? And that's the thing that they don't talk about is like, okay, you were fine paying 6%, but then you realize, hey, 3% of that is going, or half of that is going to a buyer's agent. You're upset about it. It makes 0 sense.
Well, and that's what bothers me with those sellers. In most of the listing agreements nationally, they say what the total commission is, whatever the number is, and then it's said how much is going to the cooperating broker.
Right.
So these plaintiffs they were so harmed, these people, right? Give me a break. They signed an agreement acknowledging that. So it's Looney Tunes to me, but it's a serious matter, and agents need to take it serious, and agents need to stay tuned into this stuff. And I have a page on our Crushing the Real Estate website where we lay out all my videos where I explain things. We have the news articles, all kinds of content. It's recases.com. Instead of real estate, it's just recases.com.
Yeah, and I want to give you a shout out once again and tell all our viewers and listeners, go to that website. I go there a lot. Real info for you guys to learn about what's going on from somebody on the literal front lines, both as a brokerage owner and somebody deeply involved with NAR, and somebody, here's my segue, bro, and somebody who actually got on the phone with the attorney, Mr. Ketchmark. How did that go down?
Listen, I got to give the guy credit. You know, if you see the video that I did on this, I joked and I wrote head on, and I said he took a page from my book. I've been known to pull that move. We've had litigations with people. We've had problems over the years. You know, we had 600 and something people. We sold 3,800 homes in 2022. You know,
nice.
500 referrals, 1,000 rentals. You do enough business, you're going to have some litigations, right? I've been known to call people we're in the fight with, right? Or go and visit someone. So he pulled that one on me. Day after Thanksgiving, I get an email from the front desk. I'm pointing because it's right there. Michael Ketchmark called. I asked who it was and what it was about, and he said, "Oh, he'll know." So I called him back. We talked for 16 minutes. He was very complimentary, to the point that I was like, "What's this guy up to?" But he was complimentary. You know, commented on my videos, commented that I explained things well, and we debated some of the parts of the case. He was very, kind and professional, and I was in return. We ripped each other a little bit, but it was professional. I mean, like I said, we're never going to be friends, but I respect what he does. I'm trying to be respectful on the airwaves to some extent. I have told him that, he shouldn't be sensitive about my videos. If he's going to go up and call us a cartel on national news, he can't expect to do that and not get some pushback, right?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, and he said what? He was glad you weren't in the courtroom.
He did say that.
Right?
He did say a lot of things, but one of them was, "You would have made it harder for me if you were in the courtroom."
Well, that's nice.
And I said, "I'll be in the next one," because I am. This lower case that's supposed to be in Illinois, I believe this fall, I'm going out there. Whether I'm invited in an official capacity or not, which is a possibility, but whether I'm invited in that capacity or not, I am going there. I'm sitting in the courtroom. I want to see what the hell we're doing and what our arguments are.
Let me ask you, bro, did your heart rate go up a little bit talking to dude or what?
No, I wouldn't say it did. I mean, you know me. It takes a lot to shake me and make me nervous. I did, for a few minutes before the call, say to myself, okay, let's think. What's he after? He's pulling my move. A part of me thought he might have said to me, "Hey, you keep it up, I'm going to sue you," or something.
Sure.
Go ahead. I mean, whatever. I don't believe anything I've said is defamatory. I certainly don't want to be defamatory, but I pushed the envelope a bit, and I think he deserves it. He's calling us a cartel every opportunity he gets. I don't take that lightly. This is our business. These are our clients that are being affected. And I will say, he did say to me on the call, at one moment, he said, who? Because I said, Mike, you're going to hurt a lot of people. I didn't call him attorney. I said, Mike, you're going to hurt a lot of people with this. He said, okay, fine. Tell me, who's going to get hurt the most? I said, home buyers. And truthfully, I probably should have mentioned sellers too. But at that moment, I said buyers. And I said, buyers aren't going to have the money to come out of pocket. And then he said something to the effect of, well, it can be rolled into the deal. And I said, not a full commission. A small amount can be, kicked back in a closing cost credit. But Fannie and Freddie do not allow commissions to be put on top. He said, well, regulations can be changed. I said, Mike, they can be changed. Changing things in these regulations is not easy. And if it has to be done through law, how are we doing on Fannie and Freddie being in conservatorship? Well, they went in conservatorship in September. I believe it was September 22nd, 2008. I remember like it was yesterday. When they went into conservatorship, Hank Paulson, Timothy Guyton, George W. Bush, they said, oh, this will be a temporary thing to get things back on track. Yeah, it's 2024.
Yeah.
We're still in conservatorship. Things don't happen fast.
Yeah.
So, I do think there was a millisecond moment where he was like, well, okay, tell me who's going to get hurt. But I don't know.
Yeah, ask him about the VA buyer.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't do anything.
And Preston and Suneet and I, we were not in the business. I don't think. I know you weren't, Suneet. Preston, you weren't in the business in the late 90s, right?
No.
Okay. In the late 90s, I'm pretty up on this because I've studied it all. And when I came in the early 2000s, 2004, I heard some of the old timers in the business complaining about buyer agency and saying they didn't want to participate in it. And I was, 23 years old. I'm hearing this at office meetings. I'm hearing it at trainings. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't agree with these old timers. Buyers should be able to have representation. I like this. Well, if this is successful to the extent that Ketchmark and these other lawyers, there's other ones now. I don't know if you saw it. I've welcomed some other lawyers to the Royal Rumble in my videos. But if this is successful, buyer agency's going out the window for a lot of buyers. They're not going to be able to afford it. They're not. Yeah. And here's the crazy thing. Most brokerages in their business models, they're going to charge a similar amount still, whatever their amount is. They're going to charge it because they have costs. If you're handling the seller and the other agent's handling the buyer, okay, they're handling, maybe it's not 50% of the work, but roughly. And also the commissions aren't always 50-50. That's another thing. It's just, there's so many intricacies to our business that I don't think our side has done a good enough job explaining clearly in the courtroom and publicly. And that's all I'm trying to do. I mean, Suneet knows me personally. I don't need more to do. But when the case started and I saw this, I'll tell you what tipped me off. You go look at my videos. I do videos on Crushing in Real Estate on Facebook, Instagram, on my own Instagram. I'm a video maniac. I didn't say 2 words about these cases until the second night of the trial in October. And what set me off was putting the news on and seeing Michael Ketchmark call us a cartel. And when I saw that, I said, that's it. The gloves are off. I'm going to start speaking up on this. And once I did, obviously they caught fire.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's just crazy out there. There's plenty of sellers and buyers every day that negotiate, right? And now you have a lawyer who read a document. And you're talking about how the one person is a public injury lawyer. Come on. Who read the contract and then came back? I never heard that.
No, in comparing.
No, see, but that's what bothers me. That's what bothers me. And I'll tell you, some of the stuff that I said in the last 20 minutes, I haven't said in my video. So I just exposed it on here.
Oh, good.
Some of those little tidbits about 2 of the plaintiffs being neighbors, one of the plaintiffs being someone involved in the community, the husband, the Burnett husband, I forget his first name. I don't have my notes. He bailed out of the case in the summer, right? One of the attorneys being plaintiffs being a personal injury attorney. This stuff hasn't been exposed. One of the things that's exposed, and the Wall Street Journal, they put it out, is I said, the experts that Ketchmark brought into the courtroom from Texas A&M, Dr. Schulman, okay, that's his name, Dr. Schulman. Okay. Ketchmark admitted on the Financial Samurai podcast that he paid Texas A&M $1.7 million in the first bill he received from them. The first bill. And then that person who gets paid that goes into courtroom and, oh, this is the worst case of antitrust I've ever seen. Okay, sure. We've been fooling the consumers and the lawyers for what, 110 years?
Yeah.
I mean, get out of here. It's crazy.
Dude, when
Hey, that's one part of what we're worried about. That's one part of what's going on in our business. Our business is in a tough time right now. You know, when you look at our industry, I should say, as a whole, we've got a market that's down 40% from peak,
Yep.
30% from norm, roughly speaking, on those numbers, right? You got affordability in the toilet. Sellers aren't listing. Buyers are frustrated as could be. Values haven't come down because they've come down, condos are getting hit a little, but there's been no real decrease in value.
sure.
It's a tough time in our industry, but listen, we're very fortunate to be in a business that never ends, ever, ever. There's always buyers buying. There's always sellers selling. Does it go down? Does it decrease? Yes. 2023, it looks like I predicted there'd be 4 million home sales nationally. It looks like it's going to come in about 4 million. So just everything I just mentioned, there's still 4 million home sales. This year, I think it's going to be a little better. I think sales are going to be up somewhere between 2 and 8%, probably be 4.5 million home sales. It's going to be at least another year to get back to the norm of 5.3. But hey, we put up with it. I mean, when COVID hit, hotels and restaurants got hit hard. A year later, car dealerships, car industry got hit hard. Now it's our turn, and I think we're rounding third base. Though we're getting to the other side of this. I'm starting to see the light in the market.
Yeah, same. Especially you seeing so many different markets too. That's great insight, right? So talking about the future, like of real estate and real estate agents, like where do you see that? What do you see?
I think that first of all, real estate agents are going nowhere. I mean, the people need realtors, despite everything that's gone on. Okay, people still going on Zillow, search for properties, clicking contact agent. Still going on Realtor.com, contact agent. People are still buying. People are still selling. It never ends. I mean, one thing I was amazed by at the beginning of COVID, right? You remember, Suneet, that's really when you and I connected virtually, right? Right. Yeah. COVID. And I tracked the housing stats, as you know, in all the states we're in. And in Massachusetts in the spring, somewhere between 3,500 to 5,000 homes a week get listed. And in tight inventory times, it's more like 3,000. COVID hits. They tell us, stay in the house. If you go outside, you will die, right? You will definitely die. It's over. Despite that, do you know that in a state like Massachusetts, there was still over 1,000 homes a week listed, and over 1,000 homes a week that went pending in a small state like Massachusetts? So yeah, business was down in 2/3, but there was still 1,000 people a week during the worst of COVID that said to their realtors, go ahead, list my home. Let's get it on the market.
Yes.
There was still 1,000 buyers a week that signed contracts. So we're very fortunate to be in a business that truly, it never stops. Never. I was selling in September of 2008 when TARP came out and the whole economy is going to go away. Banks were going bankrupt every day. We were closing deals every day. It was frustrating. There were days that the day we were going to close, that morning, the bank went bankrupt or the FDIC took them over. But we're in a business that never stops. And we need to be grateful about that.
Yeah. I think if they did a survey of the amount of people that actually agree with using a realtor and all that, it would be a majority of them will. Like if you surveyed all your clients, what would that look like? So you take a very small sample size to create this lawsuit that is bullshit.
Steve Murray, friend he founded Real Trends. You guys know of him.
I know Steve, yeah.
Now they're part of Housing Wire, and he did a podcast, and Steve said, after 50 years of being in the business, he said, real estate's a very interesting business where it's not only financial, but it's also very emotional to people. It's very emotional. So that makes it so that they want a guide. They want someone by their side. They want someone to guide them through it. Look, do I think there'll be less realtors in the next 3 months than there was a year ago now that dues are up? Yes. The market is having there's no question. It was 1.6 a year ago. I think we're down to 1.5 and change. After this renewal period, will we be down to 1.4 or something? Yeah, I expect that to happen. 100%. And I think if this case is even half successful, it is going to make it a little bit harder to for agents to justify value, and they're going to have to be a little better about explaining things. And, if that's the case, will we lose some more realtors? Yes, but it's not going to be 900,000 realtors. It's not 500,000. This is a huge industry.
And there are still people getting their licenses every single day, right? Like that has not stopped. Maybe it's less, but.
Here's something funny, and this would be great for the audience to hear from me. Last August of 22, we said we're slowing way down on bringing in new agents. We knew the market was in a state of flux. We knew it was going to be much harder to train them. We knew the road up was going to be harder. We created a commitment to success. We made the interview process more difficult. I still can't stop it. Every month, we have new agents joining the company. But I'll tell you something. The people that are joining now, they're for real.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
So that period that we all went through, like that 1.5 year period from maybe like the fall of 20 to even the summer of 22, spring of 22, of like, I'm going to get in real estate because I'm just going to like sell 3 homes a month and I'm going to just be a millionaire. That did go on for a little bit, but it's gone.
Sure. Yeah.
So people know it's hard. They're woken up from it. And there's always people coming in. I mean, look, it's a great industry. And we talk numbers. We're talking this case. But at the end of the day, look at the 3 of us. I know you guys, I actually care in my heart and enjoy the fact that we help people achieve the dream of home ownership, right?
Absolutely.
I enjoy the fact that we help people sell their home, okay, and buy something bigger. And, around here, I started this company with me and the woman that's in the next room, Sarah, in 2005. And we started from nothing. I put $500 in a bank account and I built up from there. Now we're over 600 people. And now I don't get really involved ever in escalations and, this one's complaining and this buyer's mad and stuff. But you know what? This past Saturday, we had a situation. We made a mistake. We lost a deposit check. And the buyer was so mad, the buyer put a review on a website. I found out about it and I saw the emails. I got copied into it. Well, no, I'm the one that sent the email at 5 a.m. and said, what the hell happened here? And all these replies. Anthony, we'll take care of it. We're on top of it. And I replied all, and I said, you know what, guys, I'll take this one. It's a holiday weekend. These poor buyers that aren't our clients. Well, they're the client of one of our agents, and another one of our agents has the other. I said, these buyers, I want them to hear from me. That's a serious, serious thing.
Yeah.
Check. They dropped it off at a branch office. There was some construction being done. Somehow there was a mistake. Mistakes happen. So I followed the proper channels. I'm not going to call the buyers directly. Got their agent on the phone. I said, hey, let's get this agent on the phone. It was a buyer that was working with another firm, actually. It wasn't our firm. I got everybody on the phone. I said to the buyer, hey, listen, I know my team is working with you guys on the details here, but you just need to know we're never letting you eat that deposit. It's never happened. Ever. On my watch. Never. So the thought in the back of your head and the fear of maybe losing that money, wipe it out of your head. It'll never happen. And we worked it out with them this week. It's all solved. It's closing the So
yes.
My point is, we really do get involved in something that is very, very near and dear to people's hearts, that's very important to people, and we never should lose sight of that.
One of the most stressful experiences the average person goes through, right, is like purchasing a home. I mean, shit, I don't even want to move like ever. Like just moving alone is stressful. Purchasing a house is very stressful. Selling is very stressful. The realtors that have a real big part of that, I think most everyone knows that, except for Ketchmark and a couple of his people out there. Have you guys seen, and the reason I see it is because Big Block is always called out, these Facebook ads from different lawyers looking for more people to do suits. You guys see those?
Oh yeah, all over the place. In the mail, I get them in the mail now. Like in the mail, postcards. And you look at Ketchmark, he doesn't buy a house like a normal American. I mean, he writes a check to buy a house. So
especially now.
He's not somebody that is going through a normal purchasing process. And you talk about it, I mean, it's the happiest time of a lot of people's lives during that buy, especially the first purchase.
Happiest, but most nerve-wracking.
For sure, 100%.
They're nervous. And yes, I've seen the ads for the copycat lawsuits. I've seen the copycat lawsuits. None have been launched in the States. Well, there's been some lunch in Florida, but we have a small operation in Florida. You know, we're selling a few hundred homes a year there right now. Give me time, I'll fix that. But Massachusetts is obviously where we do the most business. New Hampshire. In Massachusetts, we're the fourth largest company, not team, not realtors, fourth largest company in Massachusetts. So if
There you
there's
go,
companies in Mass, we're probably going to be named. And I'll say the same thing here that I said in my videos. If I am sued, I will be a tyrant of a defendant. I will not be like these other defendants. I will expose everybody on the other side. I will absolutely be no holds barred defendant. And I will probably make them wish they never sued us. And that's just my warning to those out there who might be considering it.
That's probably why you'll never be sued from them.
Yeah, right.
There might be someone who's there. Listen, some lawyers hear that and they see my videos and I'm sure they say, Jesus, okay, if we sue this guy, we better be ready. He's not going to be quiet. And then there's probably some that get daring and say, oh, he thinks so, I'll show him. And we've had that happen over the years in litigation, and every single one of them that we've completely drowned them in the case. So whatever. I'm going to defend my company, defend our clients, defend our people ruthlessly if it comes down to it. Obviously, I sincerely hope we do not get sued. We have plenty to do. But I'm just saying we have to defend ourselves if we do. And I'm not going to be like these other companies and put out nice statements and try to settle and I'm not settling nothing.
Good. Well, dude, you're exactly what the real estate industry needs. So good thing that we have you in our corner. For those of the people, viewers, watchers, or viewers and listeners that want to connect with you and learn more, where should they go?
Instagram at AJ Lamacchia, Anthony Joseph Lamacchia. So AJ Lamacchia, and then follow Crush It in Real Estate. And if you want to follow our company, Lamacchia Realty. We're not on Google my name. There's lots that comes up.
Go watch Anthony's Instagram. It is fucking raw. I love it, dude. He just give hair, just not giving a shit. I love it. I love it.
You know what's funny? I was on a Zoom the other day with a coaching customer. I coach like 5 people. And he said to me, I got a question for you. How do I get myself to not give a fuck like you? And I said, what do you mean? And he says, Anthony, I see you doing these Instagram videos. You come out of the gym, you look like shit. He literally said to me, he says, you come out, he goes, you come out of jiu-jitsu or whatever, your hair's everywhere and you're sweating. I said, well, why should I care? Do you think I give a damn? Listen, when I'm doing my Crush It mindset video, I want people to see me when I'm in that mindset, when I'm in a motivated mindset. When I get out of working out, that's probably when 70% of my videos are happening. That's because when I come out of there, I feel good. I worked out my energy. I got a lot of energy. I need to work it off in the morning. I do that about 5 mornings a week. And that's when I want to talk to people. And I have another one that I'm going to be doing in the next couple of days on a certain subject that's bothering me a little bit. You want me to mention it? I'll tease it.
Yeah.
All right. It's bothering me that there's a lot of people in our business who try to grow by holding others down, telling people you'll never be nothing without me. You need me. Oh, I don't like that. When you help people grow their businesses, you grow your business even more. What did Zig Ziglar say? The more you help others get what they want, the more you get what you want, right? And I'm going to elaborate that for anybody that wants to search. If you don't want to see my Instagram, you don't want to follow me, that's fine. But if you just want to search my mindset videos, search the hashtag Crush It Mindset, and you'll see those videos. That's what he's referring to. And I'll be out with another one. I'm going to go to Muay Thai tomorrow morning because it's a Friday, and I'm going to come out of there, and I'm going to do this video, and I'm going to mention both of you, all right?
Wait, so real fast, I just have to ask, and then we'll cut it, is you're rolling doing BJJ and the kickboxing?
Yeah, I couldn't. It's funny. For 20 years, I never mentioned it anywhere publicly, ever. My friends knew, my family knew, but I was a wrestler in high school, and then I boxed for a couple of years, and then I got into all different martial arts, in particular for 10 years, Krav Maga. And then I just did it like once, twice a week with a friend for 6, 7 years. And then COVID hit. I did nothing for 3 years, but now full bore, back at it, energy and fitness martial arts in Arlington, Massachusetts. My teacher there, Chris Almeida, is a great guy. He's become a friend. I found that place in March. So 2 days a week is jujitsu and wrestling. 3 days a week is Muay Thai. And yeah, I'm getting banged up. My wife says, you are, no, her wording, you're abusing your body. Because, every couple of weeks I'm icing something. But listen, I like combat sports. My friends used to have a joke that I was only good at sports that involve hurting people. But I like combat sports. It's how I stay in shape. Running bores me to death. So I do a lot of that, and I lift weights as well.
Good, dude. Well, cool. So good to connect. Really grateful to have you on the episode. And yeah, man, keep being out there and crushing it.
One more thing
Sure.
that I want to mention. Thank you, first of all. Thank you for having me on. But one more thing I want to mention, because you asked about me doing these things. And Chet Black's a big fitness component. I give Chet Black shit sometimes. I'll see a picture. He's all jacked. I'll text him and be like, bro, put a shirt back on, all right? Or I'll comment and I'll say, hey, man, if you need some help with the gym, let me know. My arm right here looks like Chet Black's wrist, right?
I know.
But one thing him and I have always agreed on is if your body feels good, your mind feels good.
Yep.
And you're working out and you're in shape, you perform better. And I will tell you, I'll admit it, the last year and a half with the market being the way it is, and I got pulled into a family business that was having some trouble, and it's been a stressful year and a half. And if I didn't have martial arts, it would be harder for me to deal with. And I notice the days that I don't go, I am more apt to overreact to things. I'm more apt, because I'm a high-strung person, I'm more apt to overreact. And the days that I do go, I use this a lot better. So I want to throw that out there to everybody watching, because if you're not on some kind of fitness routine, you're not performing at your best. When you get on a fitness routine, you will perform even better.
100%. You want to make more money, be more successful, work out.
Yeah.
Right? Straight up.
It's a fact. Well, listen, guys, thank you so much for having me on. I sincerely thank both of you. I look up to you guys as well. And I'm impressed with what you guys are doing, not only in your businesses with real estate, but also with Reside, with coaching. I mean, Suneet, I've sent you coaching customers, right?
Oh, yeah, you did.
I've sent them to you. You've been great to me. You've sent me a ton of training customers for our Crushing the Real Estate platform. And it's been a great relationship, even putting the side business personally. And, you guys know I have your backs, and that's because you guys have earned that. And I know you have mine, and I wish you guys nothing but the best, all right?
Yeah. And we like to hang out a little bit and have some fun too sometimes, right?
Yeah, I'm not as perfect as Chet Black and some of our other friends. I don't drink. I eat only perfect food. No, I love Italian meals, chocolate chip cookies, and I like to have a couple drinks one night a week, all right?
Yeah. Yeah. Right on. Well, everybody, make sure you reach out and follow Anthony on his social platforms. And if you got something out of this episode, please like and share and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next episode of the Reside Platform Podcast.